More on all this. I'm joined on set now by Hussein Asaf. He's a Syrian-American activist. He was born and raised in Madaya, which we were just talking about. His mother, grandmother, and many members of his family still live there, and at least 6 of those family members are American citizens. It's nice to have you with us. Thanks for coming in. You and I were talking about the area that you grew up in, this part of Syria. I think most Americans don't know much about it. Describe it for me. You were there. You have some pictures here from 2011 when you last visited.
It's a small mountainous town about 35 miles away from Damascus, to the western side of Damascus. Very scenery, beautiful views, and beautiful atmosphere. It's a resort destination town, and it's known for its apple, peaches, and
orchards
and
vineyards, right?
Yeah, historically it used to be a vineyard town. So yeah. Your
mother, your grandmother are still there. When did you last talk to your mom?
About a week ago, I was able to talk to her. And the rest of my family members as well. A lot of them are still over there.
How is your mother doing? What is she eating?
Basically, just like the rest of the town, it's living off of food rations, which means a piece of biscuit every other day, or
a piece of biscuit.
Yeah, just a little piece of biscuit like this.
Every other day.
Every other day, sometimes more, sometimes every 3 days or 4 days even. I've seen people literally going for 7 days without food and then dying right before the eyes of their families. It's
yeah, we're looking at these horrific pictures, and we've been reporting on this on NBC News since last week. But this has been going on for months.
This has been going on since June, the middle of June. But the last two and a half months has been really tight. Nothing has been going in. No one's allowed to leave, and it's basically just a starvation camp run by Hezbollah and the Iranian supporters of Hezbollah.
Let me ask about your family. Your great-grandfather was a U.S. citizen. He fought for the Americans in World War I, and because of him, some of your family has carried on being American citizens. You live in Allentown, Pennsylvania, right? You live here. You have a cousin who used to live, a distant cousin, who used to live in Allentown with his family.
Sure.
Moved back over there about 8 years ago to Syria to run an apple orchard, to sell apples and have an apple export business, and they're now trapped, and they're American citizens, right?
That's correct. Yep, that's quite right. They've been trapped for just like the rest of the town since June, like I said, and they, as far as I know, they made a lot of requests to the U.S. Embassy in Beirut. And I've seen some of the replies was just quite shameful.
What did the State Department reply?
I do not know what the State Department replied. They don't comment on that, but I saw the actual reply by the embassy, by the staff at the embassy, and it was just very indifferent. And I'm just ashamed that that an American citizen is left to die of starvation, left to see his own children die before his own eyes, and his own government doesn't come to his assistance.
Let me show you what the State Department said to NBC News. We contacted them about your family's struggle, and they said, we do not comment on citizenship claims, meaning they're not going to talk about a specific case. Through our Czech protecting power, that's basically the Czech embassy, if you will, in Damascus, we are making every effort to assist U.S. citizens who are trying to leave Syria. They're working through the Czechs because, of course, the Americans don't have a presence in Damascus anymore. Does that ring true to you? Does that sound right, that they're doing everything they can?
No, that's just, I think, just trying to find excuse and pretext. They were made aware of their presence at least in October. Maybe even before then, and they could have done much more than an actual than just a mere reply by email saying, find some other means of assistance. Sorry, we can't help you.
Right.
I'm sorry. This is just unacceptable. I mean, it's any respectable government, any respectable country that has its own citizen entrapped and blockaded like this should do a lot more. I'm sorry that the current administration isn't doing much about this case.
You must be happy to hear that some aid is finally getting there. I mean, we have video showing Red Cross shipments going in.
Sure, that's probably going to stop the death and the starvation of people, but that's not going to solve the case because the town is still entrapped. It's still besieged. So that food is probably going to run in 2 weeks or 3 weeks the most, and then we're back to square one. Hezbollah is using food as a weapon. They're using the starvation as a weapon in this ongoing war.
You were telling me that your family's actually making soup out of grass
to
eat.
That's true. It's very difficult to hear it even.
It is.
I was able to see it with my own family, and it's just horrendous.
Hussein Asaf, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here.